Can we be honest for a second? The novelty of chatting with a bot has officially worn off. For the past 2 years, we have been told that prompt engineering is the job of the future. But if you look at where we are heading in 2026, well, that is already becoming outdated. We're leaving the chatbot era, we're entering the builder era. This is forcing a massive shift in how we work. We're moving from being creators, people who spend hours writing code, drafting emails, or editing pixels, to being curators. Think about it. When AI can generate an app, a video, or a strategy in seconds, the hard part isn't doing the work anymore. The hard part is having the taste and the judgment to know what work is worth doing. The barrier to entry has vanished, but the barrier to quality has never been higher. Therefore, if you are still just typing questions into a text box, you're missing 90% of the value. To actually survive this shift, you need a new toolkit. These 7 specific skills that I'm going to show you are the ones that separate the people who use AI from the people who are actually building the future. Let's get into it. The first skill is what I call rapid software building. I kid you not. I literally have a recurring billing task on my Google Tasks that just says lovable. Why? Because the ancient Silicon Valley mantra of fail fast, learn faster is more alive today than it has ever been. In the past, that was just a nice saying. Today, it's a requirement. We used to have this mental block where you thought, oh, I can't build that tool because I'm not a React developer. Like, what the hell is React? And, or for instance, I cannot even fix that internal process because I don't know Python. That excuse has expired. The skill you need now is the ability to use tools like Lovable, Replit, Cursor, just to manifest software. It's not about memorizing syntax, it's about the logic. It's about being able to describe a problem clearly enough that the AI can solve it. If you are sitting on an idea because you don't know how to code, well, you're literally letting a ghost stop you. The barrier isn't technical anymore, it's psychological. You have to force yourself to build, to fail, to iterate every single day. That is the only way, to build the muscle. Next, let's talk about automation and agentic workflows. I'm a huge fan of automations. If you know me, you know that I love tools like Mate.com, Zapier, N8N. Well, so should you, hopefully. But here is where people get it wrong. They use these tools for the easy stuff, like moving a row from an Excel to a Trello board. And that's fine. But the real money is in the unstructured data. I'm talking about images, audio, video. Think about how much manual work companies still do around this. Someone is listening to a customer call to type up notes. Someone is looking at a PDF invoice and manually entering the price into a system. This work is boring, it's slow, and honestly, it has very little positive economic effect. But it does have a massive financial impact if you get it wrong. The skill is spotting these messy problems and building a workflow to fix them. However, a word of warning. Please don't become a meme. There's this joke going around where companies just change the status of their app from loading to thinking. And suddenly they claim we are an agentic company now. Don't do that. The question you always have to ask is, what are you trying to fix? What is the actual problem? Use these tools to solve painful, messy problems and, not just to try to look cool, because you won't. And this actually leads me to my third skill, moving away from the one model mindset. For a while, we all thought there would be this super brain AI that would do everything, like a super LLM. But we have now understood that the one model approach doesn't really work. Think about it. Humans aren't capable of being everything. You don't hire a guy who is an expert lawyer, a master chef, and a plumber all at once. So why would we expect that from AI? The skill you need is orchestration. It's about building specialized AI agents. You want one agent that is incredible at writing Python code. You want a different agent that is great at creative writing and another one that is strictly for web browsing. From a workflow perspective, this is honestly the only way to stay sane. When things break, and they will break, it is so much easier to see the good and the bad aspects of a workflow when it's modular. If your writer agent is sounding robotic, just need to fix that one part. You don't need to retrain and check the whole system. Now, to make these agents actually useful, you need to master context engineering. This is different from just prompting. This is about preventing the AI from spiraling. And we've all been there. You're talking to ChatGPT or Gemini and suddenly it gets stubborn. It latches onto a wrong fact or a specific tone or a weird format, and it just refuses to let go. Oh my God. No matter what you say, you cannot go beyond it. That is context failure. When that happens, you usually just have to give up and start a new chat. But let's be real. If you're building an automated system, you can just start a new chat. The skill here is understanding how to feed the model the right background, the right constraints, and the right memory, so it doesn't hallucinate or get stuck. It's about knowing how to reset the context before the model, drives itself off a cliff. All right, number 5. This is something that I'm personally really excited about. AEO. Well, everyone knows SEO, search engine optimization. AEO is rather looking at the AI engines. This is also called GEO for generative, making sure that ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini, they know who you are. I love this, and this is some humble bragging, but I realized somehow I'm actually doing quite well here. Let me give you some examples here. If you go right now and you search for the best no-code AI agents course, and check, for instance, on ChatGPT or any of these tools, I will probably appear in the top 3. In this recent test, I actually popped up as number 1. When I searched for the best time series analysis course, I popped up in the number 3 as well. When I searched for the best RAG course, show up at number 4. And a quick side note, and I guess there's a lot of optimization to be done here in order to get to number 1. But hey, not bad for a start. But here's my biggest take on this. You can try to hack the algorithm, but at the end of the day, nothing beats good customer reviews. The AI models are trained to look for trust and authority. So I would say focus on that first. And by the way, since we're keeping it with some light ads, if you want to see why those courses are ranking so well, check the links in the description. Skill number 6 is being the adult in the room. I'm going to call this AI evaluations. You have to ask the hard question. Does AI actually work here? I see so many people adding features just because, they can. They think, oh, I'm going to add this sparkle emoji button that summarizes text, and now my product is worth double. You gotta think, and you gotta test, and you gotta ask, do you even have a problem to solve? Or are you just trying to leverage the implicit evaluation that people give to something just because it has the label AI? People assume AI equals better. It is your job to verify that. You need to set up tests. You need to check the outputs. If the AI version isn't faster, cheaper, or even better than the manual version, don't do it. And that brings us full circle to the final skill, the shift from being creator to curator. This is probably the most human skill on the list. Since you can build faster, and since you can generate infinite variations of text and code, your value is no longer in the doing. It's in the, judging. You need to have a better judgment on picking the good things from the bad ones. This is going to require a deep understanding of customer needs. Just because you can build a feature, it doesn't mean you should. Product sense comes from understanding the customer's pain, not from the capability of the tool. There is nothing worse than optimizing something that shouldn't even exist. As we move into 2026, the people who win won't be the ones who can type the fastest code. They will be the ones who know exactly what needs to be built and have the taste to know when it's done right. In conclusion, these are the 7 skills I'm betting my ear on. I'm really curious though. We are looking ahead to 2026. Things move fast. What is the main thing you are learning right now? Are you going deep on the technical side, or are you focusing on the strategy and product side? Let me know in the comments below. I do read and I do reply to all of them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.